1. What is the most effective strategy when teaching adult learners about allergen cross-contact prevention? A. Using long lectures to provide detailed technical explanations. B. Providing real-world scenarios and hands-on activities. C. Repeating instructions multiple times without examples. D. Testing learners immediately after instruction without practice. 2. When mentoring a new food handler on allergen safety, which approach ensures the highest level of understanding? A. Provide a printed manual and leave them to read it independently. B. Deliver a single orientation session and quiz them afterwards. C. Use job shadowing combined with interactive feedback. D. Let the trainee observe during peak hours without intervention. 3. In curriculum development for allergen safety training, which element is most important to ensure alignment with ServSafe standards? A. Cost efficiency of training materials. B. Relevance to workplace culture. C. Compliance with FDA food code and state regulations. D. Use of high-end digital tools. 4. An effective clinical instruction method to demonstrate safe allergen handling is A. Allowing learners to guess the correct storage areas. B. Conducting live food preparation demonstrations with immediate feedback. C. Handing out guidelines without discussion. D. Assigning learners to train each other without oversight. 5. Which method best evaluates whether staff understand the importance of allergen labeling on packaged foods? A. Conducting periodic verbal pop quizzes. B. Reviewing theoretical exam scores. C. Observing and assessing real-time labeling tasks. D. Assuming understanding if no issues arise. 6. What is the best communication technique to emphasize the seriousness of allergen-related mistakes? A. Telling a generic story. B. Using statistics without examples. C. Sharing a case study involving real consequences. D. Highlighting general foodborne illness risks. 7. According to adult learning principles, which technique maximizes engagement in allergen safety training? A. Lecturing for 60 minutes straight. B. Allowing trainees to select the training time and topic. C. Incorporating discussion and problem-solving exercises. D. Assigning homework without explanation. 8. What is the primary regulatory agency whose guidelines must be followed in allergen safety training? A. CDC. B. USDA. C. FDA. D. OSHA. 9. When evaluating a curriculum for allergen control, which factor is most critical? A. Visual design quality. B. Learner test performance over time. C. Length of training sessions. D. Number of slides in the presentation. 10. The most effective mentoring practice in allergen management is A. Setting strict rules without flexibility. B. Demonstrating tasks and providing real-time correction. C. Allowing ments to create their own routines. D. Encouraging self-paced learning with minimal support. 11. Which is the most accurate definition of cross-contact? A. Mixing of chemical cleaners and food. B. Transfer of allergens from one surface or food to another. C. Cooking foods at incorrect temperatures. D. Mislabeling of non-allergenic foods. 12. An instructor's key role when teaching clinical scenarios involving allergens is to A. Provide answers without asking questions. B. Deliver all information at once. C. Guide learners through decision-making steps. D. Focus only on memorization. 13. How can an evaluation method ensure retention of allergen protocols? A. Use of standardized written exams only. B. Follow-up assessments involving workplace application. C. Time-based learning outcomes. D. Skipping evaluation to save time. 14. What is a critical component of an effective allergen training curriculum? A. Lengthy theoretical content. B. Inclusion of visual aids and interactive content. C. Reliance on self-directed reading. D. Minimal repetition of key points. 15. When communicating allergen risks to staff with diverse learning preferences, the best strategy is to A. Use only written communication. B. Apply a one-size-fits-all approach. C. Combine visual, auditory, and kinesthetic methods. D. Provide annual updates only. 16. A ServSafe certified instructor should model best practices by A. Giving lectures without engaging the class. B. Practicing safe food handling procedures during all training. C. Delegating training to unqualified assistants. D. Avoiding hands-on demonstrations. 17. What strategy most supports transfer of allergen safety knowledge to real-work scenarios? A. Role-play exercises and debriefing. B. Memorization quizzes only. C. Assigning learners to complete online modules. D. Providing a checklist for review. 18. Which behavior demonstrates regulatory compliance with allergen guidelines? A. Ignoring state-specific rules if federal standards are met. B. Labeling allergens inconsistently. C. Training all staff to follow FDA and local codes. D. Allowing voluntary participation in allergen training. 19. In adult learning theory, which component is essential for motivating learners? A. Instructor authority. B. Fear of failure. C. Personal relevance and practical application. D. Repetition of information. 20. What is a best practice when mentoring a high-performing employee in allergen safety? A. Leave them to self-monitor. B. Challenge them with leadership responsibilities. C. Remove them from training due to their experience. D. Let them skip modules already completed. 21. What is the primary reason to train staff on the Big 9 allergens? A. To reduce insurance costs. B. To meet OSHA standards. C. To prevent severe allergic reactions and anaphylaxis. D. To comply with union contracts. 22. When designing an allergen training module, which principle supports adult learning? A. Immediate applicability to daily tasks. B. Complex academic vocabulary. C. Long lectures with minimal interaction. D. Focus on childhood allergies. 23. A formative assessment during an allergen training session should A. Be administered after the course only. B. Replace all hands-on practice. C. Provide real-time feedback to guide improvement. D. Be used solely for record keeping. 24. What is the best way to reinforce correct hand-washing techniques to avoid allergen cross-contact? A. Provide posters without demonstration. B. Use peer evaluation only. C. Include it in the end-of-day memo. D. Demonstrate, practice, and review hand washing with staff. 25. Which communication method is most effective when clarifying allergen protocols in a multilingual kitchen? A. Verbal instruction only. B. Visual aids with multilingual support. C. English-only written guidelines. D. Peer discussions without supervision. 26. To ensure curriculum effectiveness in allergen awareness, instructors should A. Reuse outdated training materials. B. Avoid assessments to save time. C. Continuously update content based on regulations. D. Rely on word-of-mouth feedback. 27. In clinical instruction, modeling proper allergen labeling practices helps learners A. Internalize safe practices through observation. B. Memorize ingredients only. C. Avoid asking questions. D. Understand food storage exclusively. 28. The best evaluation method to measure allergen risk reduction success is A. Self-reported surveys. B. Visual aesthetics of training materials. C. Number of questions answered correctly on first attempt. D. Observation of on-the-job behavior over time. 29. What does the term allergen recall primarily refer to? A. Removal of spoiled foods. B. Retrieval of unapproved food imports. C. Withdrawal of a food product due to undeclared allergens. D. Canceling expired food handling certificates. 30. The purpose of scenario-based learning in allergen training is to A. Increase memorization of definitions. B. Eliminate the need for testing. C. Apply theory to real-world situations. D. Reduce instructor involvement. 31. Which instructional design model is most suitable for developing a ServSafe Allergen course? A. Maslow's hierarchy. B. ADDIE analyze, design, develop, implement, evaluate. C. SWOT analysis. D. VARK model. 32. What should a mentor do if a mentee consistently fails to follow allergen protocols? A. Report them immediately. B. Offer constructive feedback and retrain using demonstration. C. Ignore it unless a complaint is filed. D. Ask a peer to take over. 33. Which is an appropriate mentoring technique to ensure consistent allergen compliance? A. Frequent written testing. B. Role reversal and anonymous evaluations. C. Regular one-on-one check-ins and feedback. D. Solo assignments without review. 34. Why should food service employees be taught to avoid shared utensils with allergen-containing foods? A. To meet sales goals. B. To prevent foodborne illness only. C. To maintain efficiency. D. To prevent allergen cross-contact. 35. A quality training session on allergen control should include A. Passive listening only. B. Just-in-case demonstrations. C. Optional learner participation. D. Hands-on activities and immediate feedback. 36. Which is the best example of measurable learning outcomes in allergen training? A. Learners feel better about allergies. B. Learners can identify and correctly label allergens. C. Learners can recognize foodborne illness symptoms. D. Learners are aware of legal terms. 37. What is the impact of poor labeling on packaged food items? A. Reduced storage space. B. Higher sales volume. C. Increased risk of allergic reactions and noncompliance. D. Slower cooking times. 38. In adult education, the instructor's role is primarily to A. Deliver uninterrupted lectures. B. Act as a facilitator who encourages learner engagement. C. Limit learner participation. D. Control all discussions. 39. Which method is most effective for evaluating comprehension during allergen training? A. Open book written test only. B. Group brainstorming without facilitator. C. Peer-led discussion without assessment. D. Realistic task-based exercises with feedback. 40. What technique supports effective allergen mentoring in high-stress kitchen environments? A. Ignoring noncompliance until performance reviews. B. Modeling calm, compliant behavior consistently. C. Delegating mentoring to untrained staff. D. Using written reprimands without discussion. 41. What is a key feature of effective allergen communication with customers? A. Providing vague information to avoid liability. B. Allowing only servers to speak about allergens. C. Clearly listing all allergens in menu items. D. Referring all questions to the head chef. 42. To teach new employees about food allergens, a best practice is to A. Begin with real-life case studies of allergic reactions. B. Use legal jargon early in the session. C. Focus only on federal law. D. Skip practical demonstrations. 43. Which of the following indicates that a food service worker needs retraining in allergen procedures? A. They use separate tools for allergen-free meals. B. They always wear gloves. C. They label food containers properly. D. They handle allergenic and non-allergenic foods with the same gloves. 44. When assessing learning outcomes, which of the following provides the most valid measurement? A. Number of questions asked by learners. B. Direct observation of workplace application. C. Volume of training material reviewed. D. Number of modules completed. 45. What regulatory document outlines the legal responsibilities of food service workers regarding allergens? A. FDA Food Code. B. CDC Safety Manual. C. USDA Nutrient Database. D. OSHA Chemical Safety Guide. 46. In a training session, which feedback method aligns best with adult learning principles? A. Public correction during sessions. B. Group grading without comments. C. Ignoring incorrect responses. D. Private, actionable, and timely feedback. 47. How should an instructor address a trainee's incorrect behavior during allergen food prep? A. Ignore the mistake for now. B. Correct behavior immediately with an explanation. C. Wait until the next training session. D. Let a peer handle the correction. 48. The main purpose of using formative assessments during instruction is to A. Assign final grades. B. Replace summative tests. C. Monitor understanding and adjust instruction. D. Avoid formal evaluation. 49. Which activity supports adult learners' retention of allergen protocols? A. Role-playing allergen scenarios. B. Reading FDA documentation aloud. C. Watching a documentary. D. Completing a survey. 50. What action violates allergen compliance policies? A. Sanitizing utensils between uses. B. Wearing clean gloves during food prep. C. Storing allergen ingredients with non-allergens. D. Using color-coded cutting boards. 51. The most appropriate reason to update allergen training annually is A. Improve company image. B. Increase staff turnover. C. Changes in regulatory guidelines and best practices. D. Use leftover budget. 52. In curriculum development, which process ensures goals align with ServSafe Allergen standards? A. Brainstorming topics with staff. B. Mapping objectives to learning outcomes. C. Reducing duration of training sessions. D. Selecting random assessment tools. 53. The benefit of experiential learning in allergen training is A. It reduces the need for compliance. B. It allows learners to skip assessment. C. It focuses only on theory. D. It deepens understanding through real tasks. 54. What role does FDA guidance play in allergen training? A. Sets national safety standards and labeling requirements. B. Issues local health permits. C. Regulates food advertising. D. Establishes nutrition education. 55. Which communication practice is essential when informing staff about a customer with a known food allergy? A. Posting a notice in the break room. B. Discussing the issue after service. C. Clear, immediate, and direct communication with all involved staff. D. Assigning one server to remember. 56. What aspect of mentorship is most useful in training on food allergen handling? A. Ongoing feedback with model behavior. B. Assigning training to HR. C. Relying on checklists alone. D. Testing without explanation. 57. Why are practical demonstrations important in allergen training? A. They are quicker than lectures. B. They reinforce correct technique through visual learning. C. They allow learners to multitask. D. They fulfill legal requirements. 58. What is the key objective of allergen training? A. Improve kitchen efficiency. B. Increase food safety inspection scores. C. Meet company profitability goals. D. Prevent allergen exposure and protect customers. 59. An effective mentor ensures allergen compliance by A. Monitoring only during busy hours. B. Focusing only on experienced staff. C. Reinforcing procedures through routine check-ins. D. Avoiding detailed explanations. 60. What outcome demonstrates effective allergen instruction? A. Staff consistently prevent cross-contact. B. Training materials are up to date. C. Learners complete the course. D. Instructors receive positive reviews. 61. Which of the following is the most effective method for preventing allergen cross-contact during food prep? A. Using the same utensils for all foods. B. Cleaning surfaces weekly. C. Separating allergen-free prep areas with dedicated tools. D. Storing allergenic foods at eye level. 62. How should instructors address cultural differences in food handling when training on allergens? A. Avoid discussing them. B. Acknowledge and incorporate them into training scenarios. C. Assume all staff are familiar with allergens. D. Focus only on written policies. 63. Which outcome best reflects the successful transfer of learning in allergen training? A. Staff implement allergen protocols without prompting. B. Staff complete a post-training quiz. C. Staff request additional training. D. Staff reference the manual frequently. 64. Which is a disadvantage of using only written exams to assess allergen training? A. They are inexpensive. B. They test regulatory knowledge. C. They may not reflect practical skills. D. They can be graded quickly. 65. What should be included in every allergen awareness training curriculum? A. Steps for managing insurance claims. B. Guidelines for healthy eating. C. Allergen-safe marketing practices. D. The Big 9 allergens and cross-contact prevention. 66. What instructional strategy is most effective for reinforcing safe allergen storage? A. Lecturing on refrigeration guidelines. B. Practicing correct storage in real kitchen setups. C. Showing images only. D. Reading the FDA food code aloud. 67. A primary goal of mentoring in allergen training is to A. Build long-term compliance habits. B. Replace formal training entirely. C. Promote competition among staff. D. Delegate responsibilities quickly. 68. Why is it important to teach staff about hidden allergens in processed foods? A. To reduce grocery bills. B. To avoid using brand name items. C. To meet OSHA requirements. D. To prevent unintentional exposure. 69. What best illustrates the use of adult learning theory in allergen safety training? A. Using abstract theories. B. Providing minimal feedback. C. Tailoring instruction to job-relevant scenarios. D. Ignoring individual experience. 70. What should be the first step if a customer reports an allergic reaction from food served? A. Notify the health department immediately. B. Begin internal investigation and document all findings. C. Discard leftover food without review. D. Interview all customers present. 71. When training clinical instructors in allergen education, which skill is most essential? A. Writing legal disclaimers. B. Drawing diagrams of food prep lines. C. Leading simulations and real-time corrections. D. Conducting budget reviews. 72. What is a clear sign that allergen training content needs to be updated? A. High employee turnover. B. Change in FDA guidelines. C. Staff attendance drops. D. Menu items remain unchanged. 73. A summative assessment in allergen training would be best used to A. Provide instant feedback during lessons. B. Track ongoing learner progress. C. Evaluate overall knowledge after instruction. D. Replace performance reviews. 74. What is one key objective of evaluating an allergen training program? A. To increase menu prices. B. To measure training completion times. C. To identify areas for instructional improvement. D. To generate promotional material. 75. Which action shows an employee has internalized allergen safety training? A. Asking the trainer questions about allergens. B. Correctly identifying allergens during an unprompted customer interaction. C. Completing the course with a passing grade. D. Reading allergen posters in the break room. 76. In mentoring relationships, which behavior best encourages allergen compliance? A. Correcting mistakes in private and reinforcing proper methods. B. Reporting every infraction to HR. C. Asking the mentee to memorize all protocols. D. Avoiding feedback to build confidence. 77. How should a mentor address a mentee's repeated misuse of allergen protocols? A. Document all incidents without discussion. B. Provide one-on-one retraining and coaching. C. Reduce the mentee's responsibilities. D. Leave correction to the manager. 78. The most effective way to promote ongoing allergen awareness is A. Holding annual mandatory meetings. B. Posting reminders and discussing procedures regularly. C. Having staff sign a one-time acknowledgement form. D. Asking HR to handle enforcement. 79. Which of the following tools is most effective for training staff on allergen-safe food labeling? A. Video demonstrations only. B. Role-playing labeling scenarios. C. Group brainstorming sessions. D. Weekly newsletters. 80. Why is it important for food handlers to understand symptoms of allergic reactions? A. So they can diagnose the customer. B. To reduce food waste. C. To provide emergency assistance and report the issue promptly. D. To decide when to offer discounts. 81. Which strategy supports accurate communication of allergen information on menus? A. Use of generic ingredient descriptions. B. Frequent collaboration between kitchen and front-of-house teams. C. Leaving allergen identification to customer discretion. D. Removing allergens from all dishes. 82. A regulatory compliance checklist in allergen control should include A. A customer satisfaction score. B. Employee uniform checks. C. Staff training verification and labeling audits. D. General cleaning schedules only. 83. What is the role of the FDA in allergen management? A. Requiring nutrition training for chefs. B. Overseeing workplace insurance policies. C. Mandating labeling of major food allergens. D. Enforcing minimum wage laws. 84. What is the best method for preventing allergen cross-contact during storage? A. Using separate containers and clearly labeled shelves. B. Rotating stock weekly. C. Freezing all food products. D. Relying on verbal reminders. 85. Which principle of adult learning supports hands-on food allergen training? A. Learning is most effective when it's passive. B. Adults learn best when lectured to. C. Adults prefer experiential and relevant learning. D. Adult learners require no supervision. 86. The best way to assess whether learners can apply allergen protocols is to A. Assign a multiple-choice quiz. B. Observe them performing allergen-safe procedures in a real setting. C. Review attendance logs. D. Ask open-ended questions. 87. Why should allergen training include multiple types of media, e.g., video, role play? A. To make the session longer. B. To impress inspectors. C. To address diverse learning styles and increase retention. D. To comply with marketing trends. 88. What is one of the first signs of food allergy in a customer? A. Foot pain. B. Skin rash or hives. C. Improved appetite. D. Sweating after exertion. 89. What is a key mentoring action in training new staff on allergen handling? A. Giving unsupervised practice time. B. Demonstrating correct procedures and allowing guided practice. C. Emphasizing speed over accuracy. D. Asking another trainee to supervise. 90. A well-designed allergen curriculum should be A. Static and unchanging. B. Focused on general food safety only. C. Aligned with current regulations and job tasks. D. Mostly theoretical. 91. The use of case studies in allergen instruction primarily supports A. Academic performance tracking. B. Abstract theory development. C. Critical thinking and real-world application. D. Vocabulary memorization. 92. Which of the following demonstrates poor allergen communication? A. Asking a manager to confirm allergen details. B. Assuming a customer's allergy is mild. C. Referring to the allergen-safe menu. D. Informing the kitchen of a special request. 93. The final step after completing allergen training should be A. Archiving records for future audits. B. Returning training manuals. C. Submitting anonymous feedback. D. Printing new menus. 94. What is a performance-based assessment for allergen safety? A. A self-report questionnaire. B. Multiple choice exam. C. Direct observation of food preparation with allergen-safe techniques. D. Lecture attendance check. 95. Why is mentoring important in reinforcing allergen training? A. It allows for passive learning. B. It provides ongoing support and modeling of correct behavior. C. It replaces written policy. D. It eliminates the need for documentation. 96. How should cross-contact risks be communicated to food service employees? A. Through periodic newsletters. B. With clear signage, demonstrations, and regular updates. C. Via social media posts. D. In customer surveys. ServSafe Allergen. The ServSafe Allergen test is a specialized certification exam developed by the National Restaurant Association to help food service employees understand how to safely serve customers with food allergies. It focuses on the critical principles of allergen awareness, including identifying common food allergens, avoiding cross-contact, reading food labels, and responding to allergic reactions. The test is designed for anyone working in food service, particularly those involved in preparing or serving food. By completing the ServSafe Allergen course and passing the exam, employees demonstrate their knowledge and commitment to protecting guests with food allergies, helping to create a safer dining environment. The test supports legal compliance and promotes customer confidence in food safety practices. Here are the top 5 beneficial uses of the sample exam. 1. Enhances food safety. The ServSafe Allergen test educates food handlers on identifying and managing common food allergens, greatly reducing the risk of cross-contact and allergic reactions in customers. 2. Legal compliance. It helps establishments comply with food safety regulations and allergen labeling laws, minimizing liability and potential legal consequences related to food allergy incidents. 3. Improves customer trust. certified staff demonstrate a commitment to allergen awareness, reassuring customers with allergies that the establishment prioritizes their health and safety, which can boost customer loyalty and reputation. 4. Reduces risk of foodborne illness. By understanding allergen protocols, employees can prevent dangerous allergic reactions, which can be life-threatening, ensuring a safer dining experience. 5. Supports staff training. The test provides a clear, standardized way to train and assess employees' allergen knowledge, promoting consistent practices across all levels of food service operations.